One prestigious award which you hold is the Bal ShaktiPuraskar Award.
Honored by our worthy Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi, making learning more fun and engaging in the class. Also training myself 1,000+ teachers and students around the world. Worked in collaboration with Finland for a Christmas project.
Welcome back to the channel. This is Hasini Lakshminarayanan here. And if you're new here, this is me, Hasini, myself, a 13-year-old, and this is the First Step YouTube channel where I am interviewing young achievers. And please offer to like, share, and subscribe. And let's move on. So, as our guest today, we have a young, beautiful girl who's a Bal ShaktiPuraskar awardee of 2020. And she is a young mastermind who can train both children and teachers on gamification. And if you're wondering what gamification is, and if you're wondering what gamification is, please continue watching and stay tuned. So let's all welcome Namya together right now. Hi.
Hi.
You have trained about hundreds of teachers, not only from your school, but from other regions too, and also in different countries. And you teach them how to use Minecraft in classroom. So tell us about your experience. Usually, what a 13-year-old does, they being trained by teachers, right? But you have capability to train teachers. So tell us about the experience and how does it feel to?
Well, I'm no more 13 years old now. I'm 14. But if I come to your question, it's been like a learning experience for me. I won't say like amazing, outstanding. I would stick with the word learning because I got to learn how to be kind and teach others by understanding to the other person's pace and the way he learns. Like everybody learns differently. So I learned how to teach them in their way. And at the same time, I also became more confident. If I compare myself like towards the first session I took and the sessions I take now, I can notice a lot of difference. Like first I used to be very formal, but now I can go informal and nobody says anything because they're able to understand. And like when I used to be formal, I used to think like I'm doing good, but when I watch my older videos now, I used to think like, how am I speaking as compared to now? But still, it's been a very big learning experience for me because I got to learn while I was teaching so many new applications that as soon as I keep on learning, I share those with other teachers and students. So I learned and shared. So that's how it went.
How was the experience meeting the CEO of Microsoft, Satya Nadella? Because all of us have seen him on online platforms and stuff, but you got an opportunity to meet him in reality. So how surprising was that, and what and all were you asking him, and how did he appreciate you? I'm very curious to ask this. I don't know why. I wanted to ask this over to you.
Sure. So I was actually on a holiday when I came to know. I got a call that you are invited as a speaker at the Young CEO Summit in February 2020. And I was very happy to know that the CEO of Microsoft had mentioned me during the Bengaluru Summit, and my video was showcased there. And that was exactly the day I had reached Delhi. And when we went to our hotel, I got a call from my friend and said, I saw you, I saw a video, like the CEO of Microsoft mentioned you. I was like, are you serious? She said, yeah, like, see, here's the video, check it out. And I saw it and I was very inspired listening to the words that he said. So I was very excited, like the day that I got a chance to meet him. And I shook hands with him and he appreciated me on whatever I was doing. And that was great to empower others. So it was a great feeling. Even at the time when I was on the stage and when there was an interaction between the president of Microsoft India and the CEO of Microsoft. He was telling so many inspirational stories of what he was doing and how he started everything. So when I came out, I thought like I've learned a lot today, and I'm gonna put all those things that I've learned into my personal life as well, so I can become a better version of myself. So in a nutshell, it was a very inspirational experience for me to meet the CEO of Microsoft.
My next question to you is you have delivered a presentation on gamification for different countries, right? So when did you start learning and how did you learn? First of all, from my side, and I hope a lot of people does not know the exact meaning of the term gamification. So it would be helpful if you could mention that too. What is it about? Because I'm not very clear about it. Can you?
Yeah, sure. So, like, if I come to games, so I would go into this concept like our mind loves to play games. So, if I tell you that, do you want to play games or do you want to sleep for the entire day? What would you choose?
Maybe because I'm not play, I would sleep for the entire day.
Okay,
But
you
if
would
you're gonna
sleep.
ask any guy, they would definitely say that they
Yeah,
would.
I want to play games. I won't sleep. I'm not saying that from my side, but they would say like,
Yeah,
no,
yeah, they would
no
definitely
sleeping.
say.
I'm gonna play. That's how like our brain captures this thing, even if it any situation that I want to play games, no matter what. So that's where like it is games for fun, and that's how we took it to games for education. That's where it is gamification. That is like how we
Yeah.
gamify everything. In like it is probably a quiz, and every quiz you get coins. That's gamification. That we have a leaderboard and you have to get the first position in that. That's gamification. Now how we come from gamification in education for Minecraft? So like we have games that is for fun, then we come gamification like leaderboard, then we have gamification for education in Minecraft. So whatever like you see in the books, you're
Mhm.
not able to understand that very clearly. But when you see the same thing on a screen where 3D models have been built, you are able to understand that clearly because visual learning helps you to understand better. Now, if I give you like entire page text and I give you another thing that is a pictorial of the entire thing, so you would obviously understand better with the pictorial rather than the text, because the people who are able to rote learn, they will rote learn and write that thing, but the concept might not be cleared. So that's how like it goes with gamification in education using Minecraft. So if I studied the states of matter in chemistry in my book and I created that same world in Minecraft, I would obviously understand better that in Minecraft because I can explore around. I cannot explore my book, I can just see the text and that's all. But I can move around, I can break things, I can understand how each chemical equation works. So that's how it comes in gamification in education. And talking about like how I learned, so I started playing Minecraft when I was in the 5th grade, and I came to know about it during an unplanned session with my teacher. So I went back home and I was working on my project on my laptop, and that's when like I clicked on the start button and I saw an app known as Minecraft. That's just the PC edition that we normally see. And I remembered that instantly that my teacher talked about it. So let's see what it is all about. So I opened the app and I started playing. Soon after that, my mother gave me the education edition account of Minecraft. And that's how I started creating lessons in it, being able to see the problems, by being able to see the problems that have been faced by my fellow mates to understand the concepts. And also I wanted to like change the learning routine from text and rote learning to visual learning. So that's how I started playing,
Hmm.
and that's how like I came to education purposes.
I mean, that's indeed a great idea because if you're gonna ask any child, I mean, I can't tell that girl childs do not like gaming, especially. I mean, maybe not me. I don't say that I don't like it, but I'm not put into it. But it's always a better option is to go watch a video on YouTube, a visual learning, instead of just reading a textbook. So I mean, I just love the concept of a game and
Yeah, you just mentioned
education.
like girls right now. I want to mention this thing like people like underestimate girls mostly that when it comes to gaming, that how can you play games? You're just a girl. So that's happened with me as well. Like when I was in the 6th grade, many boys used to underestimate me. Like, games? Why are you playing? You're a girl. So I proved them wrong by like creating many lessons, and when I showcased those, they were like, "Wow, you can build so good. We never thought about that in that way." That's how like when I saw that the girls weren't more into these fields, like you just said right now. So that's when I started like my own club, that's Girls in STEM, wherein I like taught them how they can use the ICT tools, not just like for teaching, but for making awareness that you also can come into these fields. That it's not like only boys can be gamers
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
girls cannot be gamers. It's just a gamer. Everybody can play games, and games is for everybody. Not like you don't call like boys as boy gamers and girl gamers. It's just a gamer. So everybody has the equal right of playing games. So that's how like I try to bring up motivation in girls. And now like there are some of them who have also started training others with the same motto. So I'm happy that I was able to do this.
I mean, that's great. And she said it all very clear. And as you said, when you initially start, you'll have to face criticism
Yeah,
somehow. But
true.
then people who are going to look back right now, they're going to see that, oh, this is the same girl whom I talked about, and now she's here as a personality.
Yeah.
So, have you faced any challenge so far? And how did you overcome it? And would you like to tell people
Mm,
watching and including me
yeah.
how to overcome these challenges?
So
Any message or any
yes,
quote
yes,
which
sure.
kept
I would love
motivating?
to tell that.
Mhm.
So, like, if I come to that thing, I haven't faced any that much according to that. It was just about like the discrimination that you can't play games and all, but I overcome that by like ignoring such people because sometimes it's not, you should like stay silent, not like that. When you're supposed to speak out your opinion, you should speak out, but in a calm way, not overpowering another person. But if they're like, you can play, I'm just like, okay, thank you so much for your opinion. And that's all. But that also like not in a rude way. I've never done that. But I'm a firm believer like of this. It's a Japanese proverb that fall down 7 times and stand up 8. So it means like choosing to never give up on hope and always striving for more. It means that your focus is not on the reality in front of you. It's like greater that you might have never believed on yet. And whenever I feel like to stop doing whatever I'm doing, I remind myself of the quote that you have beautiful ideas and you should not die with them still in your head. And you started this thing because of a reason, so don't stop doing it. And that gives me motivation to keep on continuing on my work and I don't stop.
Thank you for sharing that. It indeed is going to help many people, including me. I'm
Thank
going to have one tough situation. I don't know, but
you.
we'll see.
Yes.
You have received many awards, and one prestigious award which you hold is the Bal ShaktiPuraskar Award of 2020. So tell us about that and how surprised were you? How exciting was that receiving the award?
Yes, sure. So, like, I've got the Bal Puraskar 2021, and I really feel blessed that on 25th January 2021, I was honored by our worthy Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi. And that day was like a, a day full of joys of spring. It's like a surreal feeling hearing my name and seeing a personal tweet by a worthy Prime Minister for me. People just dream about, like, even seeing the Prime Minister, but like, him speaking my name and giving a tweet about me was such a surreal feeling. And I got this award in the innovation category for creating educational lessons in Minecraft and also making learning more fun and engaging in the classrooms and also training myself 1,000+ teachers and students around the world on the power of game-based learning with STEM learning by using Minecraft, make code and ICT tools.
Tell us about your story. How did this journey of yours start?
So my journey started with just mere game playing. I'd heard that Minecraft is only used for gaming, that people usually do. But then I understood that how it can be used for education as well. So I was sitting with my mother and she told me that you have a Skype session with the teachers and you have to conduct a beginner session for Minecraft. And for them, I was really perplexed. I said, okay. And she said, Namya, you can do it. So I conducted a session for them, and that really motivated me. And I thought, yes, I am a good instructor. They're able to understand, so I'm able to teach them properly. And that's when after a few months or so, I worked in collaboration with Finland for a Christmas project and was acknowledged to create a one jingle in Minecraft. And soon I started teaching teachers all over the world, as well as students, on how they can use these tools as game-based learning in the classroom by creating course material in Minecraft. So one of the best opportunity was when I got to meet my fellow friends and students in Finland, and I was invited as a keynote speaker at the Chaos event, wherein I took a workshop for the Finnish educators on how they can use Minecraft in their classrooms. And it was indeed an amazing and cherishing experience for me. In this lockdown as well, I did not stop learning. Whatever I learned, I kept on sharing that with my friends and teachers by conducting online sessions. I still remember, like, I used to get up around at 5 because I had to teach one friend at 6 o'clock. So it was like a good routine that was set for me when I used to wake up early and sleep on time. Sometimes sleeping late if I have sessions, but it was just like I was following my passion.
Now I would like to tell a thought which most of the parents say, game they say that gaming is going to distract children, right? So what is your thoughts on this fact or thought?
Uh, First of all, gaming does not distract children, it makes them more sharp from here. They become better thinkers because gaming is not just about killing and all, they learn many perspectives of lives. But it is like a situation when the child keeps on playing for the entire day, and that is not good at all. So, what I would recommend is you want to play because I play as myself. I cannot like stay 1 week without playing. But though I have my set schedule, like I've written my checklist that I'm supposed to complete these tasks first, which is about my studying, my other projects which I work on, and like the gaming is included in my project, so automatically I play. But the people who don't know such things and they just play. So what you're supposed to do is you see which things are more important, like your homework, extra activities which you're supposed to do, and the things that your parents tell you to do those first because those are the important things. And then when you're done with all the important things that you're supposed to do, then play. Nobody is stopping you. No, even your parents won't, because they want you to study. They want you to do the extra activities, but not playing gaming for the entire day. So that's where they stop you. They won't stop you from playing games if you're done your work. So if you're done with your work, you're done with the extra activities, then go on play, but don't play for like 5 6 hours. Take breaks. Screen time is not good for eyes. Yeah.
So tell us about your future plans and any new project which you're currently working on. You said you're writing a book, but is there anything apart from that?
Yeah, so I would future plans. I would like to be a social entrepreneur, and I am a social entrepreneur actually right now. So I also want to start my own startup to create an education gaming platform wherein people can get access to gamified education content. And currently, I created like a project on digital citizenship in form of a Rube Goldberg machine in Minecraft, which is a Digital Institute approved, and I worked in collaboration with them. That talks about how to achieve the 5 competencies of being an impactor. And also, like, I started my first venture yesterday. That's hashtag EachOneTeachTen Club. And so that is all about, like, I launched a merchandise, EachOneTeachTen Club, wherein I sell customized t-shirts, cups, personal diaries, etc. And I just started with shirts right now. I'm going to sell all these things later. So all proceeds from these merchandise will be donated in charity. So I have tied up with an NGO who looks after the animals. So this money will be donated there, and I love doing the social work. So that's why I'm currently working on this right now, and I hope it goes well in the future.
Is there any message which you like to tell to people watching?
So I believe in hashtag each one teach 10, which means each one person can teach 10 and they can share their knowledge with the rest 10, which get multiplied by 10. So I tell people to join me and do not only act on social media, but do action on ground as well. So hashtag each one teach 10. And with this chain, let's make this reaction beautiful and impactful that creates ripples to achieve the UN goals for 2030. Thank you so much. It was good talking to you today.